Hey, welcome everybody. Hare Krishna. We'll wait for a few people to come on here. And then over here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, welcome there. Hey, I was watching a devotees class. I think you were watching too, in Germany, and gave me some inspiration to talk about something that I think is an important issue to kind of draw the devotees' attention to. Just like Guru Tattva, we talk about Guru Tattva over and over again, but there's another Tattva also it's good to talk about over and over again because they're intertwined, and they basically mean the same thing for this type of guru and this type of teaching, this type of special liberation of the soul. Yeah. So so it's basically the reason Lord Caitanya descended to this planet, and I'll just go right to the verse here. Hey, got a bell. Good. So this is in chapter 4 of Adi Lila, text number 32. This is the confidential reasons Lord Caitanya descended. So, text 32, I shall taste the essence of all these rasas, and in this way I shall favor all the devotees. This was the kind of guru Lord Caitanya was. He tasted he taught by tasting, man. He tasted the essence of all these rasas, and in this way he favored the devotees. See, that's the way. So, in other words, to be this kind of guru, this is the Raganuga platform, where you see a devotee tasting their relationship with Krishna. See, and then those who come and see, they're favored by that, because then they may develop a desire like, oh boy, I would like to worship Krishna like that too, in such intimacy and ecstasy. That looks more juicy than just the external worship of rules and regulations, formalities like this. See, this was the main reason why the goddess of fortune could not. Well, it's one of the reasons. I'll speak about one reason. Yeah, the goddess of fortune could not attain. Talked about this morning, remember? So the goddess of fortune could not attain Krishna of Vrindavan, even though she had Krishna of Vaikuntha or something, Narayan. But she couldn't attain through austerity this. See, so that's why the Lord descended. Well, one reason was it's just, the Lord is an enjoyer. He's the supreme enjoyer. He likes to be happy, man. What makes him happy is pure bhakti, the purest bhakti of Vrindavan. That makes him the happiest. Yeah, so he came first and foremost to taste this bhakti, but also to teach the devotees also how to taste it and its glories, and to want to taste it, to desire to taste it. And so the Lord showed that example. Yeah. So that's really it. And so that's the kind of guru that one needs if they need a Raganuga guru ultimately, that takes them beyond the rules and regulations into this realm. See, to be a guru like Lord Caitanya. And otherwise this level of worship remains unknown. See, it needs, somebody has to be specially empowered by Lord Caitanya to taste the nectar of this pure love of God, when they chant the Maha Mantra or the pastimes of the Lord, to taste those mellows and that divine ras. See, you have to personally do that in order to preach it. Hey. Okay? Otherwise, people won't know what it is. Yeah. So, and the preaching is basically you inspire people by that kind of worship where they desire it, and they desire so much they will associate with those kinds of devotees. Otherwise, it's just not available. Okay? And that's why the goddess of fortune couldn't get it, because she was trying to get it through austerities. But it's simpler than that. It's just by association, mainly, and by that desire. Matter of fact, Ramananda Roy said the only way to attain this kind of bhav of Vrindavan is greed, spiritual greed. So spiritual greed is initiated by seeing the worship of the empowered devotee now. See, this is the next phase where devotional service is going or could go for a lot of devotees if they understand this, if they see that this is more reasonable than the kind of way they're following now. Because a lot, what I've seen, people giving classes about Caitanya Charitamrita, they're not really clear yet. See, this clarity comes by that personal taste, and then you understand by revelation. You know, the Lord shows you these very deep things in Chaitanya Lila, and they're very simple. If you hear from the devotee who is teaching like this, the kind of Raganuga guru who is been empowered to taste what Lord Caitanya was tasting, this pure love of God, this bhakti ras. Okay? And that's really the real disciplic line of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. You know, Gaudiya Vaishnavas were tasting this ras, and they were laughing and crying and all kinds of wonderful things. Yeah. So it's a great thing. Hi. Good morning. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll read this again. So I shall taste the essence of all these rasas, and in this way favor the devotees. So you notice in our teaching here, this is the way the devotees are getting it. People are seeing devotees who are tasting this ras, not only me now, now they've picked it up. And now you see devotees like Johan and Lalita Ganga and others tasting the sweetness of Krishna's name and pastimes like this, and they cry, they laugh, just like the Lord did. See, this shows you this is a true disciplic line. There's no sahaja thing. It doesn't lack real knowledge. You see, we base all our preaching here based on the solid basis of scripture and personal results that the devotees are getting. Okay, so it's intelligent. Matter of fact, Krishnadas Kaviraj said he presented Caitanya Charitamrita with logic and discrimination. Okay? And so the preaching, not only of the book is that way, but the actual sound vibration preaching, which will appeal to the intelligence of the intelligent. If you really want to know Krishna, and you really want this Vrindavan Krishna, and not just some intellectual speculation on Vrindavan, this is really the path, the narrow gate. You know, you just got to find where the symptoms of this kind of empowerment is, where you see a devotee chanting these verses in ecstasy and getting these deep revelation realizations, and they sound really good, literally sound really good, and they purify the heart, purify the preaching, purifies all the ignorant ideas that we may have about it, all our speculations, all the speculations we heard from people, devotees, Vaishnavas, who have not realized this but are trying to teach something. So, yeah, and that's really it. Okay, let's read another verse. So, Lord Caitanya says, by taste, I shall taste the essence of all these rasas. See, taste these essence of all these ras. Taste the friendship mellow. See? Taste the essence of the ras of love for God in friendship and in servitude, in also in mother and father relations, in the conjugal. Okay? So he tastes the essence and favored the devotees. Certain devotees are in different rasas, and they like these they like to see a devotee worshiping Krishna as a friend or as an intimate servant or as a parent. See, and this favors the devotees. It enlivens their bhakti, their devotion. So there's that. Okay, then the next verse, 33. See, this is the spiritual counterpart of the Masons, the number 33. So you got to attain this 33 level to preach real Krishna consciousness. The 33rd level you have to reach to preach it. Luckily, it's not that hard, man. Uh-oh. Oh, good. We're still going. Okay. Let's see. I got to try and get this on a multi-window again. Here. Oh, it's not allowing me to do so. Hello there. Okay, let's see. Can you still hear me? I think you probably can, maybe. My multi-window goes, so I can't read the verse. So I have to give you, so the 33rd verse is very important. This paraphrased, you can look it up. Maybe Johan, if you could look up that verse, number 33 in Madhya Lila, fourth chapter there, 33rd verse. So here's the paraphrased version. And so then Lord Caitanya says, then by hearing about this kind of the love of the gopis, see, by hearing. So how does that show up practically? See, so the Lord tastes by chanting these verses and hearing the vibration himself. And those who are in the vicinity, those who are tuning in to that vibration and to that sound vibration and to that reading, because the name, the pastimes, and the qualities of Vrindavan Krishna are very important to initiating this rasic relationship, this pure devotional sentiment, pure devotional service. He's serving the name and the pastimes like that. So, and then you're hearing the devotee relishing like that. See? Then you begin to worship like that. Also, you may feel inspired. You may feel it touch your heart. You get the moonlight rays from the devotees worshiping like this. This purifies automatically anarthas and ignorance, and realizing just by seeing that you're seeing the perfect position of life. This you're seeing the perfect level, the highest, deepest level of human evolution that we can attain in not only in this world, but in this universe, in all the planets. This is the deepest, most radical, most greatest treasure that can be attained, is this relationship of the Lord, our soul, with that transcendental Lord, especially in Vrindavan, which our line is a Vrindavan line. See, so if you come to such a teacher, that's a spiritual master on the deepest level. You're not just coming and learning the preliminaries, the rules, regulations, and the Vaidhi level in Varnashram Dharma. You could spend your whole lifetime practicing that. See, the sages in Bhagavatam were not satisfied. They said, no, we can spend our whole lives trying to perfect Varnashram Dharma and regulative worship, ceremonial worship, to learn all the rules and regulations. So they asked Sutta Goswami, Give us a easy way. Give us a shortcut. See? There's nothing wrong with having a shortcut, but it's got to be a real one. It has to be authorized. See, Jesus gave a shortcut. He was the shortcut. He was that he was the crossroads there on the cross. He was the one plastered on that cross. The devotees are the devotee is the crossroads. They're the shortcut. What they say is the essence of truth. Hey, what Lord Chaitanya taught was the essence, is this. He said, okay, I will taste the essence of these rasas personally, and in this way I will favor the devotees. So if this kind of level and of love of God is going to be taught, it has to be taught the same way. Now, with a living person. Otherwise, what was the necessity for the Lord to come here if it didn't need a living person? Okay? It needs, even now, it needs a living person, because people still, it's not enough, to look at these verses and, like devotees I've seen, they go and speculate on them, or they just give you a more, I'm not this body class. You just continue, like you read all these things, why Lord Chaitanya come, and then you dance around the issue. You don't go right to the essence. You don't give some people substance so that they can actually rise to this platform of worship. Okay? So your preaching has to be in accordance with the essence of these verses, just like these verses are proclaiming. That's why you need, again, the example you need by the action. See, the spiritual master in chapter 1, by the action of the book Bhagavat. See, this is the knowledge of how to enter Vrindavan, this level of the book Bhagavat. Okay? And the devotee Bhagavat absorbed in those mellows, then these mellows are awakened in your heart. So this is the process. I don't think I'm coming and going now, right? Is it working here? Let me know how things are going. Is it working there, Janaki, now? Mm-hmm. So these are great verses. I wish I could read something. I should have brought 2 phones, but I didn't. Okay, well. Any comments or questions? Yeah. Yeah, the 8 verses in Shashastikam. But that's a mixture also of the trying to attain Krishna. And he said, I can't do this because I commit so many offenses. I cannot taste this kind of bhakti that makes it's just always like good fortune, more good fortune, more good. See, I commit offenses. So that's why I say sadhu sangha is the best way, because those offenses will go in association with ecstatic devotees very quickly, so that people can relish either hearing or chanting, see, and or whatever, whatever is your way of tasting. So some people like to hear, some people like to chant and hear. Ultimately, a lot of times I know from my own journey, it changes. It evolves into different things. Like I've never, the japa was more on I liked more chanting the verses of Chaitanya Leela and Srimad Bhagavatam, and for more years, and chanting, I still chanted, but it was more on the back burner. And then things changed, and then I like both, sometimes I favor either one. And oh yeah, now, sometimes singing has always been the last. The last for me. And now I don't know, singing is starting to sprout something, some I really appreciate. I'm starting to really get into it. It's just something I like. Oh, that's so nice to sing for the Lord. Yeah, dancing was there, also sometimes dancing. Anyway, there's a lot of ways to serve Krishna in ecstasy. Yeah, okay, it's clear. All right, good. Yeah. Yeah, can somebody post the 33rd verse up here of Chaitanya Charitamrita so I can see it? Because I can't do it. 33rd and 34th verse. If you can, so maybe Johan, you can do it. See, chapter 4, Adi Lila, 33rd and 34th verse. So, man, this is just it's really awesome. There's a great opportunity now for people to make rapid progress. Hello. Very good.
Then, I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Great. Okay, so I'm gonna then try and do this myself. Let me see. I'll get some points from thing. So if I come and go, it's because I'm switching back and forth. Yeah. Okay, so then in the same verse there, the same verse, Lord Chaitanya, or Krishna in the verse is saying, and thus the devotees will worship me on the path of spontaneous love of Godhead. See, that's the door to it. You have to see either the Lord or his intimate servant tasting these rasas of these verses, and then you see that, and then you start to also develop this. You get purified, the baptism, baptism, little fire, your nartas burn up, and more you start to feel it. I mean, you get maybe go back and forth, like we see, back and forth. Sometimes the material stuff comes up, you're in a cloud, and then you get a taste, and then you get some ecstasy. But by and by, it gets more steady. See, and then you'll worship the Lord on the path of spontaneous love awakening. And that's the greatest goal, man. That's the greatest treasure, pearl of great price. Yeah. And so the next verses after that is the essence also, is then one should continue to serve Krishna on this platform of tasting this nectar like he did and like his devotees do, hearing, chanting the names and the pastimes of the Lord in ecstasy. And this now that you're awakened spiritually, spiritual senses are awakened, now this maintains the devotee's bhakti. See, so otherwise it's an abandonment of duty. Goes like that, something like that. So the whole process of Raganuga Bhakti is these three verses in a nutshell. You got to associate with devotees who are worshiping like this in this spontaneous love of Godhead, where the devotee sometimes laughs, sometimes cries, sometimes chokes up, calls out, all kinds of these various symptoms, cries, blows, and all this stuff. It's all ecstatic, and it's all transcendental, spontaneous signs of love of God. Okay. And you have to like it. I mean, if you want to stay, if you don't like it, if you think, ooh, that's too intimate. Ooh, I don't want to do that. I don't want that. Then you won't go and associate with devotees. But if you do, that's the path. Oh, there you go. You found the door. Just hang out with those devotees, worship with them, and don't be derailed by these fault finders and the critics and the hard-hearted people. Don't believe them. They're only just trying to deviate you from that. Don't believe that, their lies and their speculations or their inexperience and their childishness. See? And that's all you have to do. Stay in association with such devotees. You'll become increasingly inspired. Anartas will come out of your heart. You'll have a firm, like your heart, weakness of heart will go. Weakness of heart is being bitten by the Maya, the conditioning, all in this world. See? All of that will go. How come we only got 2 likes here, or 1 like? So everybody, I thought we had like 10 people watching. Hopefully, if you do like this, do the likes, because this is for the preaching. This video will go into the algorithm, and they'll show it. Otherwise, if you get 1 like, 10 people, I know more than 1 person likes it, hit the like button. I can't do it because I'm not really on Facebook. There we go. We got 2. So anyway, yeah, hit the like button. The people, even the mundane teachers, are telling people, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Yeah, yeah. So good. How can one understand spiritual subjects when one is still absorbed in materialistic life, serving lust, greed, and passion? Well, that's a good question. Thanks for asking. You can learn not by your own strength. That's the idea. Come to sadhu sangha and hear from real devotees who have the transcendental potency. The Lord is working deeply in the midst of them, and then that lust, anger, and greed will be gradually dissipated. Is the only really practical way. Otherwise, you're going to say, "Well, I got to do all this sadhana to get over lust, anger, and greed." Well, good luck, man. You got a long road ahead of you, and you probably won't be able to do it, especially in this Kali Yuga. We need the stronger method. Stronger method is association with the Lord's intimate devotees, and all these things will be overcome in due course, or they won't be a hindrance. Yeah, and so really the way to get out of this, it's if you're absorbed in materialistic life, you come to sadhu sangha and you like it, you'll become naturally more absorbed in spiritual life, because that's what it's about. Who are we talking about? See, people become absorbed in material life because of spiritual subject talking about the world, talking about politics, talking about mundane things. So people become absorbed in that meditation, see, and I'll become even attached to it and become bewildered by it. See? You come here, what is our subject matter? We're talking about the spiritual science of Krishna consciousness. So become absorbed in that. That's the cure. See? Just simply come to Sadhu Sangha and turn your camera on and look over here. Hear the sound vibrations of people chanting in ecstasy, or dispersing transcendental knowledge, dissipating all the ignorance. See? Develop faith in the shelter of ecstatic, spontaneous devotees worshiping the Lord on that level. Develop faith like that. Get absorbed in this. Get like the devotees here are absorbed in ecstatic worship of the Lord. See, and then you get unabsorbed just naturally in the world. It becomes, you lose your taste more and more. After a while, it's like, ooh, that's simple. I experienced liberation when chanting kirtans, bhajans, etc. Where can we find this here too? See, that's it. You've experienced liberation, and a lot of people don't come here because that's all they're after. If all you're after is liberation, go in kirtans and just chant and be liberated, because this is what Krishna keeps hidden. You want to learn this science, you want to be engaged in pure devotional service where you please the Lord so much that tears pour out of your eyes and holy laughter comes and you're jumping up and down. Well, you can do it like this. I mean, if you're experiencing that kind of worship in kirtan and all that, which you could do also, but usually the devotees have to be like that, and I've seen most aren't yet. Yeah, so that's the thing, like you said, you experience liberation. Okay, well, this is another platform also. It's not just liberation. This is called pure devotional service. It's worshiping the Lord, and ecstatic, spontaneous devotion awakens in your heart. And you got to be a little patient, man. You can't just come here and say, well, where is it, man? It's not an entitlement thing. It's a gift of guru. You have to learn this from the witnesses. Learn. If you watch this morning and you see how this is developing nicely, and say, like an example, Christina, she's showing how this is developing really nicely. She's becoming very ecstatic, relishing mellows, and the realizations are coming. Oh, this is my Guru Dev. This is my Guru. Now I'm tasting all these things. Johan, Lalita Ganga. You can see these examples vividly, and Govinda. They're showing this path really nicely. So you want to learn it, you learn it from them. Now, and don't be one of those persons that just comes here and think, well, where is it, man? Where is it? And think, oh yeah, you're going to just get it, like, without following the process. The process is the witnesses. Follow what they do. You want to get this? Well, come as much as Lalita Ganga has come for 3 years. Come as much as Christina and Govinda regularly, and Johan, and then you'll get what they get. Come with that mood and attitude. I don't just want liberation. I got that. I want more than liberation. Okay? So this is the hidden thing. So when are we going to discuss the deep meaning of bhajans of great Acharya? Thanks, you grateful. Yeah. Yeah, see, again, discuss the deep meaning. You want to go, you don't want, see, that's trying to get it cheaply. You're not understanding, relishing Guru Tattva, relishing the path. You want to go right into the deep things. See, this is the deep thing, my friend. If you understand this deep thing, if you understand Guru Tattva and the Guru Tattva teaching on the level of rasa and how to enter into it, that is the deep teaching. You can't jump all the way over to some speculation you have about what the deep acharyas are discussing, and you can just go there. No, you got to become a disciple of a real bona fide Raganuga guru teaching Raganuga Bhakti. Well, that's here. You want to learn? You got to go through the purification to learn. You got to, and so the witnesses here, you can learn from them. But if you want to see I've seen this happen so many times. People want to just jump all the way to the deep things that Rupa Goswami and the Acharya is doing, and they don't even learn how to be a real disciple. Rupa Goswami understood all these things by being a very sincere disciple of all the devotees and Lord Caitanya. All the devotees learn that way. See, otherwise you can't. If you just try to jump there, you'll be befuddled. You won't get over. You'll just have a big false ego and speculate, and you'll get into pride, and be proud, and you don't really know, and people will think you know because you're very proudly preaching. I've seen this so much. Anyway, we're here to teach the real deal here. Yeah. Yeah, so you want to learn, just follow that instruction. Learn from Johan and Lalita Ganga and Christina and Govinda and any of the devotees who are sincerely surrendering to Guru and Krishna. A lot of people surrender to Krishna. You probably surrender to Krishna. So when you really get this, and you get it, oh yeah, it's by the verses, man. You got to come in alignment with the verses. Prabhupada taught it's by equal faith in a bona fide spiritual master, a living spiritual master. See, living spiritual master and Krishna. All the purports, all these things you want to know. See, all these things you want to know and discuss will be automatically revealed in your heart. See, so that's the path we teach here. Been doing bhajans for a long time. No jump, but dive in. Yeah. Okay, good. Dive in. So anyway, that's my recommendation. So we'll see. Proof is in the pudding. We'll see if you attend here regularly and are learning. Because, we can fool ourselves. We can fool neophytes, but you can't fool Krishna and Krishna's devotees who actually have real devotion. There's persons here have real bhakti, man. They'll sniff you out, man. They know. They know when you're speculating, and you'll get a paddling. They don't like speculation here. They don't like false ego. They don't like pride. So it's a great place, man. It's great fun. You learn a lot of real stuff, great secrets. But if you want to join this club, well, you got the members here, the real members there. You have to satisfy them. So good luck. We're rooting for you. Okay, my friends, I think we'll stop here. Yeah, if I get some more inspiration, I'll just rest the voice a little bit. Drink some water. Hare Krishna, everybody. See you soon.